Good evening. This is Flame Flash of flameflash.net podcast, episode 24. And last weekend was Blizzcon. The Raptor Report, well, it was Blizzard based. I was very much inspired to both play WoW and StarCraft 2. I didn't have much time for anything else. So there's the Raptor Report for the last week. Short and sweet. Before moving on to BlizzCon reactions, however, I'm going to touch on a couple of other random tidbits, Flame Flash style. We have the Google Buzz dying, reported last week, and now Google Plus is going to step away from requiring you to use your real name. I guess they're going to take an aim at Twitter now, since they certainly couldn't take down Facebook. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Portal 2 is getting a map editor. Soon. Yes, I have Blizzard on the mind. Soon. The PlayStation Suite. Alright, the PlayStation Suite, if you're not familiar, is where you can play Sony-branded games, PlayStation games, on an Android-based device. Before, the PlayStation Suite was only available on Sony Android-based devices. Now, it's headed to everybody. No major details yet, but this is good news. So if you have a Galaxy Tab, if you have an Android Kindle Fire, if you have a Samsung Galaxy cell phone, you might just be able to play some of your PlayStation Network games on your Android phone. Pretty cool. And since I seem to often cover Netflix news, this positive, surprisingly, tidbit, Netflix is on the move again in Europe. They will now be available for the UK and Ireland viewers fairly soon. So those fine folks across the pond can finally enjoy Netflix streaming. I wish Netflix luck. I believe the Europeans have much stricter and heftier download caps, etc. So this should be interesting. I haven't heard much on how OnLive, the online streaming gaming service, has been going over in the UK. I know from what I've read, they've been happy and excited, but have they hit their streaming caps because of it yet? Quite curious. So, what about BlizzCon? BlizzCon happened over the 21st and 22nd, this last weekend. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter, I'm going to be fleshing out what I commented on. For those of you who don't, start following me on Twitter. Flame Flash. Straightforward, nice and simple. I'm Flame Flash of flameflash.net. I'm Flame Flash on the PlayStation Network. I'm Flame Flash 82 on Xbox Live. Not that I'm there very often. Come find me. So, first off, no Titan MMO business at all. BlizzCon. Nixed on that. I think they announced it was going to be a nix on that right from the start. The Diablo 3 Collector's Edition. You're going to have World of Warcraft and StarCraft 2 exclusive items. You're going to get Diablo 2 on a special flash drive, kind of like how the StarCraft 2 flash drive gave you StarCraft and the expansion. Not that I can run it on my higher end, quote unquote, Mac or PC. It just colors just kind of don't work right. But that might be different for Diablo 2. We'll see. Diablo 3 is also going to be available free for WoW subscribers. For if you sign up, it's kind of a contractual agreement, which is really weird. you say, yes, I will subscribe to World of Warcraft. I promise I will pay a subscription to World of Warcraft for the next year. Thereby, I will get Diablo 3 when it's released. The regular edition, not the collector's edition. If you want the collector's edition, they'll credit your account 4 months, which would basically be the price of the collector's edition. Or the original edition. I'm not sure how much each is going to cost, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. But you also will get a free mount once World of Warcraft patch 4.3 goes live. We got the Diablo 3 cinematic. Pretty cool. I'm impressed. I'm looking forward to finally stepping out into the world of Diablo. I've only heard good things about it, but I haven't ever tried it until now. Or been willing to try it. So we'll see what happens when the annual pass kicks in and I'm able to get it. I will likely go for the collector's edition. I really have enjoyed the soundtracks of the Blizzard games, and you get soundtracks with the collector's editions traditionally. I have no idea what Dota is, by the way. I am totally clueless. However, it's getting added to the StarCraft 2 arcade. It will be interesting to see what that's all about. The new expansion to StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, is on its way sometime next year, as is Diablo 3, as is World of Warcraft's next expansion, Mists of Pandaria. So all of that copyright news, etc., trademarking news from this summer, accurate. That's what happened. We're getting pandas. Pandarians are going to be the new playable race with the new monk class. The level cap goes to 90. Boy, I hope it works better than a 5-level cap in Cataclysm. And a pet battle system. Think Poco Wow. Your non-combat pets, you now are their trainer, and you go forth and collect more. Gotta catch 'em all. But then you can battle them in a PvP style. That looks really neat. I'm very wary of the only 5 more levels idea, because in Cataclysm, I only had to touch 3 zones of the 5. 3 zones, and I was at level cap again. Yes, Wrath was bigger. Yes, there were more zones left over when you hit 80. But it was also a more satisfying experience, and when you went to level your other alts that were stuck at the level cap from Burning Crusade, you didn't feel like it was a slog through. You weren't slogging through the exact same zones over and over again, like you have with Cataclysm. Yes, we got Hyjal and Vizir for starting zones, but then you went straight to Deep Home, so you got funneled into one place. Unlike in Wrath, where after Borean or Fjord, you could go Grizzly Hills or Dragonblight. And then from there, Storm Peaks or Ice Crown. Or, oh crap, I'm forgetting the other zone. The really pretty one that reminds me of Ungoro Crater. Now I feel full of fail that I forgot that. Oh well. It's late. I gave blood today, so be nice to me. That's what the sticker at least said. I'm not wearing the same shirt. So Pandarans are going to be Horde and Alliance. They've said already that you're not going to be able to talk cross-faction. So if your Pandaren monk decides to go Horde and your buddy decides to go Alliance, not going to happen. There's been a little bit of rumor, speculation that we're going to get a Moonglade-like place for monks. And in that place, you might be able to communicate cross-faction. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But either way, it's good that you can't cross-faction communicate in-game. It would mean everybody would go monk, or Pandaren. Because you can, after all, be multiple classes, not just monk, as a new Pandaren. I think the only ones you can't be are Death Knight, Druid, or Warlock. Seems fair and reasonable. You're only going to get one starting zone in Pandaria, which goes back to the Burning Crusade style. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think what I'm going to do is hopefully they lift the 10 character cap per server. Just give you the 50 character cap per account. And then I will create a new Pandaren monk and go through the starting zone. Yes, the starting zone is going to be crazy busy, just like if you started a Death Knight right at the start of Wrath of the Lich King. But that's only 10 levels. And then there's plenty of options once you hit that level 10 to go into Cataclysm content and level. Get to 60, hang out at 60, hang out at the Dark Portal. But by the time you hit 60, if you're not hooked on the monk class, go back to your other main. The fact that one of the biggest, coolest things I'm thinking of in Mists is the fact that you get bind to account achievements is a real big pull for me. It's a real big plus. One thing I've always loved about my druid is that it's always been my main. She has stood by me as I was a total noob, swimming from Minithil Harbor all the way to Westfall because I didn't know there was a land way to go about it. And then running from Westfall to Stormwind. I didn't even know Stormwind existed. That's how much of a noob I was. But that druid, I wouldn't have to feel guilty about not playing as much because all of my hard work there would still appear on my monk. And the monk class is like druids and paladins. You're going to have the DPS spec, the tank spec, and the heal spec. I'm looking forward to it quite a bit. Especially since they are cutting down one of my favorite aspects of druid, which is cat and bear are getting split off, so druids actually technically get 4 specs now. I'm not going to have a way to quickly and effectively pounce between bear and cat and then hit my respec button, switch to my other spec, and be resto. It just isn't going to be possible anymore, which makes the monk a lot more enticing because I'll still be able to flip. Probably not as effectively as a drunken battle master or whatever the tank class of monk is going to be, but I feel like I'll probably be able to pull it off better now than I would as a guardian bear spec and feral cat spec being split apart. You almost need to give us tri-spec Blizzard, at least for the druids, just so I could go bear, boom, resto. That way I use the same gear for both boom and resto, and I still get to keep my bear. At first, from BlizzCon on day one, they nicely dodged that 11th slot tune question, so I was really relieved to see on one of the panels them getting around it and finally admitting that yes, it's a problem, yes, it's one of the big requests, and hopefully we will see what was mentioned about the 10 character cap lifted going to the 50 per account. I really hope that's the case. Aside from achievements being locked to your account, the pets are going to be locked to your account. So that gold selling Guardian Cub pet, no longer an issue. Yes, until 5.0, you'll only have the one. But if you are a huge pet fan, then still get it. Get it for your main. And then you'll have it. You'll have it on your account come 5.0. It'll be interesting to see if that is cross-server bind to account. I'm really curious to see if it is. Personally, I hope they never do pull off the bind to account mount the way they're proposing to do it pet style. Heirlooms? Yes. I want a bind to account heirloom panel where you learn the heirlooms, and then any character that wants to could go to that piece of the user interface, buy the piece for, say, 50 silver, something really low, so that way brand new alts, 50 copper even, brand new alts can grab it. But at the same time, if they lift the 10 player cap, why would you want to leave your home server, which has all your heirlooms, if you're going to do a faction flip? Personally, I want to do that because I want to find a role-playing realm. My biggest mistake when starting this game was assuming that a normal realm, Zangarmarsh, meant I can do anything I want. I can PvP or I can roleplay. No. No. You get made fun of if you try to roleplay on a normal server. I found that out pretty fast. Yes, some people still play along, lightly, but it just isn't the thing to do. BlizzCon was amazing this year, though. I think having the kids be excited about it this time around and happy really helped. They enjoyed watching it with me, the son more than the daughter, but they loved it. They loved sitting and absorbing all of the new information. Oldest is 9, and he clearly is coming into his own as a WoW player, though I need to help him look up the proper rotation for warriors. He's really tempted to go tanking, for instance. He just doesn't have the skill level quite yet for that. And I feel bad discouraging him from tanking because we need all the good tanks we can get. But he needs the gear for it first. He needs the DPS. As I watch the meters, he has fun. And that's what matters. One relief regarding mists, and I will actually wrap it up from my Blizzcon coverage is you're going to go to heroic as soon as you hit 90. I have absolutely hated the fact that I have hit a wall when I hit the level cap on Kata. I've hit the level cap thrice now. And what are my characters going to do? One toon is capable of going to the troll heroic dungeons. One. Now, that's not something wrong with Blizzard, or something wrong with me for that matter, but it's something wrong with the system when in Wrath you were used to hitting the level cap and going straight to heroics and being able to gear up. So it's a great relief to see that they're going back to the Wrath style of heroics, especially because that means there's more gear, there's more variety to see and do as you gear up. We'll see, though. The Looking for Raid tool will be coming in 4.3 with the Deathwing patch. So I might just be able to go and kill Deathwing or see Deathwing die and not have to depend on my guild to get through it. I don't really care about going for the top of the line heroic kill. I don't have enough time for that. But it would be neat to watch Deathwing fall from the sky. But BlizzCon is over. World of Warcraft Hallow's End is still in full swing. Loving it. Haven't gotten anything to drop really from doing the Headless Horseman each night. But before I pass out from donating blood, I'm going to go do that. And so this will be Flame Flash, a flameflash.net podcast, signing off.